Hey everyone, welcome back to another Today in Tarkov for December 15th. Get you caught up on some of the news, some of the changes, some of the things going on in the game that you might not have seen, especially if you're not plugged into all the crazy social media, which if you're not, I don't blame you. That's what I'm here for. I'll look at all the dumb shit and boil it down and give it to you in a condensed format. Tarkov has been busy with changes, or at least BSG has been anyways. And it's kind of how it always goes at the start of the wipe. They're constantly rolling stuff over, tweaking, fixing things. So if something's not working or you're not liking something, pretty much just got to hang out for a day or two and it gets changed. So we'll jump into those. These are changes that don't get published. It's just their thing. It's how BSG does stuff. But we have a guy named Logical Solutions and his team over at tarkovchanges.com that publish stuff sometimes BSG doesn't want us to know, but it's out there anyways. So I figured I'll report on it, let you guys take it as you want. If you're not interested in that, you don't want spoilers, suggest probably clicking off the video, changing, because that's going to be full of it. I'm going to dump everything here for you guys to see. Now, keep in mind that some of the changes are actually unknowable on their overall effect. So like loot percentage changes, right? When they change percentages of stuff, they can see client side. I might not even be describing this right, but they can see client side stuff. They can't see changes they make on the server side, and there's multiple changes they can make, and so we just can't see all of them. So take everything you see with a grain of salt. It's not always 100% accurate, but at least it gives us an idea of the direction they're heading and what they're trying to do. So first up, the thing everybody's been worried about is gas analyzers, because they've been difficult to find. I still have yet to find mine. BSG has been tweaking these almost every day, but as of right now, the 15th, they've been removed from loose loot on shoreline, so you won't find them open. Now, does this mean they're not in containers anymore? I don't know. Now, containers are jackets, caches, duffel bags, things like that, where you can find them. Don't know if you can find them there or not. So if you are on shoreline and you're finding them in those, please let us know down in the comments. It'll be awesome for people to know that they can still find them there. But with this, they added them back into the loose loot spawns on interchange. So you'll find them at Ollie again on the shelves, the tech spawns, thing like that. So go have it out on that side of the mall, the war zone that it is this time of the wipe, when everybody's hunting around in there for stuff for their hideout and their gas analyzers. Now, as far as what people have been saying, at least in my Discord or I've been seeing on Twitter, people have had a lot of luck finding them in places like customs in the green room. That's this building here. You go inside, you go upstairs, open the door. On the left here, underneath the computers, is a tech spawn, open tech spawn. You can find stuff there. This is called green room or stream room, whatever you want to call it. Also, people have been reporting finding them in the open tech spawns on reserve. So that would be drop down room, which is technically RBAK, but you can get into there without a key by jumping out of the window. And then you got the shelves in there. And then also the open loot spawns in the King building on all the server racks. There's a ton of spaces in there, and there's some on second and third floor as well. So look around, you might be able to find your gas analyzers there. And then lastly, like we said, interchange and all the tech spots. You have a chance to find them there as well as in Ollie. So hunter matches have also been a thorn in people's side, including mine, trying to get your hideout upgraded. So for now, it looks like customs is the map to go. They've been added to the open world spawns of customs, and that's it. So does that mean you can find them in containers? I don't know. I haven't. I loot tons of filing cabinets, caches, jackets, everything at the start of the wipe, and I haven't found any yet. But open loot spawns, these are a flammable material, and the way the loot tables kind of work on the maps, I think that the item type matters, because you always find like fuel and defuel and stuff like that together in matches, and those are flammable materials, and that's what hunter matches are. So anywhere like the shelves in the warehouses, the tables and couches and dorms, or basically anywhere else you find flammable materials regularly, open world spawn, that's where you have a chance to find hunter matches. And something else that's been missing for about a year is graphics cards inside computers. We're finding them again. I'm seeing streamers report finding them on customs, interchange, reserve, you name it. So I don't think the map matters. They're in computers again. So if you want to look for graphics cards, make sure you're looting computers as well. On to the next change. Chemical part 4 has been fixed. It's been bugged for a couple of days. Basically, if you turned it in and then went into raids after that, you would lower your rep over and over and over again, which was really bad, because then you couldn't have level 2 on your traders. That has been fixed. You can now turn in chemical part 4 with no risk of losing rep repetitively. Interchange has had its overall loot reduced by about 26%. Again, this is that number, take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like they're reducing the amount of loot on interchange. With this, they have increased the minimum number of players on customs and woods from 8 to 9. And then the boss spawn chances are as follows. Killa is 15%, Tagilla is 18%, Rashala is 36%, Sturman is 25%, Gluhar 28%, and Sanitar 32%. Now they like to tweak these constantly, so keep up here. I'll try to keep you updated as much as I can, or check out tarkovchanges.com for when they throw them up there. They've also been tweaking what is not sellable or sellable on the Flea. Gas analyzers have gone back and forth. They are currently sellable on the Flea, so you can sell them, but they have removed Pilgrims, the Alton helmets, Fast MT helmets, the Maska helmets, which are the green Killa helmets, same helmet as Killa, which is green instead of black, and then the Cayman helmet. All of those have been blocked from being able to buy or sell on the Flea, so you can't do that anymore. Next up, they've added some new armbands. I don't have pictures of all of them yet. We haven't seen them in raid. I suspect they're blocked behind tasks, but thanks to Logical Solutions, guys, we have images. So here they are. You can look at them here, pause, whatever. Some pretty cool, interesting looking ones in here. Ones for the labs mains. There's a bear one, all sorts of goodies. So expect to see these as task rewards in the future. I'm kind of excited. I think these are pretty cool. As far as the rogues go, now rogues are the raiders, if you will, of Lighthouse. They're not raiders. They're kind of like raiders, but they're USEC. I don't know the lore about them totally yet, but they're badasses. Don't fuck with them because they will slaughter you. We haven't got any really good approaches to kill them yet. Once we get those figured out, we'll try to share it with you guys. But nonetheless, their hit points have been figured out. So they have a total of 736 hit points. This means they've got 42 on the head, 164 on the chest, 130 on the stomach, and then each limb, arms and legs, are 100 apiece. So you're going to need some big rounds to kill these guys because they usually have pretty good armor on. It's going to be hard to one-tap them with some of the higher-end pen ammos, so keep that in mind when you are shooting at these guys. They are tanks, and they got a lot of health. And then one of the bigger changes that I still have to think about a lot, but I'm not happy with as of right now, is they've completely nuked the Flea Market slots, how many slots you can sell, how long it takes you to get more slots, all of that stuff. So the way it used to work is you started off with 3, and as long as you stayed above 0.2, which is where 0.2 rep, which is where you started at, you would keep 3, and then at 10 you'd go to 4, 30 you'd go to 5, 50 you'd go to 6, 70 you'd go to 7, so on and so forth, and it got a little bit higher as you got up, but you would max out at like 18 or something, I think, but you'd never get there with so far. Like I sold a ton of stuff on the Flea, and I would get to like 80 or 90 or 100 rep most wipes after the changes from a couple of wipes ago. Now you start off with two slots, so 0.2 to 0.2 is, as long as you stay above 0.2, you have 2 slots, but you don't get your 3rd slot until you get to 50. Now, 50 slots takes roughly 250 million rubles. That's how much you have to sell on the Flea Market. It's 250 million rubles worth of stuff. So that's a lot to get your 3rd slot. I think this is a bad change. Let me feel it out a little bit more. Let me get an idea to it, but it's going to make the Flea Market incredibly volatile. It's going to cut down on how much can actually be listed, how many items people can put up, which means they're going to want to sell them for cheaper. They're going to undercut like crazy to get stuff sold so they can get their slots back. So you're going to see prices all over the place. That provides some opportunities in some side, but it's also a pain in the ass on the other. I'm going to think about it a little more. I'm going to do some testing, kind of see how I feel about it, and probably do another video about the Flea Market overall and all the changes and how it's going to affect the game. But right now I don't like it, and maybe it's just because I'm being a whiny streamer, but I don't like it. It's no good. And then the last thing we'll talk about here is they modified a bugged quest for Lighthouse. It used to have one that said you had to reach the trader on the Lighthouse, which is impossible because you can't access the Lighthouse or the trader. So maybe that's a quest in the future, but they changed it to where you have to recon the area around the Lighthouse. So I haven't got there yet. I haven't done it. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's out there. But that's pretty much it. That wraps up today's tit. I hope it was big enough for you and got enough information out there to make your day better. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in Tarkov.